We got another Sims survey. Okay, so this one was a little while ago now. I think it first popped up on my homepage over in The Sims 4. Sometimes these surveys do just pop up for some players. They don't pop up for others. This was either back at the end of October, beginning of November. Honestly, not gonna lie, can't remember November. That month went so fast. At least what we do know is for Christmas, we're not getting any more kits in The Sims 4. We already got like the last bit of the Sims 4 content that we were getting this year. It was the creator kits. However, this survey was talking about kits and maybe what we potentially would want as Simmers in the future. So I went through this over on my Twitch channel. I will actually link the VOD down below if you want to see like my first reactions to it. But I'm pretty much going to be going through this with you all. I took screenshots of it and kind of talk about my reasonings, how I feel about kits in general, like what, 3 years after kits have been released? For future kits, how interested are you in build/buy or create a sim kits focusing on each of the following life stages? Babies, infants, and toddlers. Now, I originally put somewhat interested. I think infants are probably what I would want out of this. I don't really feel like loads is missing for toddlers within the game. Maybe that's just because to me they actually feel quite fleshed out as a life stage. I don't particularly like the infant clothes that we have right now. All they give the infants is either baby grows or these like frumpy little jumpers and tracky bottoms. Would I want that particularly in a kit? No, not really. However, if we're also taking this into account of bigger packs, even though it's talking about kits, definitely extremely interested. Children, somewhat interested. They have already done a couple of kits that one of them fully focused on Create a Sim for children. I just don't think that style was necessarily missing from what we currently have within Create a Sim. What I would love to see more of, specifically for the younger age groups, is, do you know in toddler stuff, with that little bee top that looks homemade, it's got like the pom-pom necklace, it's got like little wings attached to it. It looks like your sim has like crafted that outfit for their toddler. I would love to see more of that when it came to children. I definitely think there's some big like assets that I would probably want for children. I mean, we only just got, I think it was in For Rent maybe, or Growing Together, a long pair of denim shorts. So I could definitely be overly critical. I could probably go into Create a Sim now for children and be like, I would love to see this, 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 and this all within my game. I honestly might make a video dedicated to like children's Create a Sim that I would like to see. However, I think over other life stages, children are okay right now. Teenagers still need more. High school years, I don't particularly like the gameplay of high school years. I've said that from the very beginning. However, Create a Sim and Build and Buy mode would honestly be the two things that if I was buying that pack, those are what I would be buying that pack for. And I do think they very much suffer from having the same skeleton in the game as all the age groups that are above them, because they introduce stuff all the time for young adults and adults, and then they're just like, well, teens can wear this anyway, so like, why do you need dedicated teen stuff? But there's definitely specific styles. Obviously, finding out who you are as a person, your hobbies, your interests is such a huge thing of being a teenager, and I feel like they really are missing a lot of that. Some of the more like alternative kits that we've had recently has slightly helped with that, but not every teen that I have is alternative, you know? Young adults and adults, no, not interested at all. They get everything anyway. Kits are fully focused on them most of the time. The only thing that I'm like, yeah, give me that is basic masculine wear, because I just feel like that is still so lacking. And also business casual or just like boss bitch wear. I just think that would be incredible. Elders, I also just think they always need more. Don't get me wrong, I feel like Growing Together and also For Rent did a pretty good job of including elders within their Create a Sim. They definitely had some assets that I fully definitely could envision a lot of the elders that I create in them. Some nice like dresses. There's definitely some things I would love to see when it came to elder representation within my game, specifically like sleepwear as well. When purchasing current or future kits, which type of kits are you most interested in? I could only select two. Kits that focus on expanding a specific room. I feel like a lot of the time that just leads them to doing clutter, and I feel like anything that has focused on a specific room, I could really take it or leave it. I did want to choose kits that are versatile and had endless possibilities. However, that's such an open-ended thing. Like, what? Just because you claim a kit is versatile and has endless possibilities doesn't mean that it does, you know? We're paying £5 for less than a third of a stuff pack, and a lot of the time I can't see like kits being versatile and endless possibilities. Like, you're gonna run out of stuff to use that in eventually. However, I would actually love to see in kits more of like the modular furniture. I obviously chose kits with some level of interactive items. I am always the person who is like, I would love some like extra gameplay with a kit. I really like the fact that the tiny campers kind of had that tied into it. I think that kit went down very, very well in the community because it did feel like it had gameplay actually tied to the kit itself, or it added on to like an experience that we already had, but in like a very realistic way. And I feel like that's where kits kind of should shine a little bit more. Kits that have clutter or make a space feel lived in, no, I hate them. Clutter kits are one of my worst personal kits. A lot of builders tend to love them. I don't. I already think that we have clutter within the game. Clutter can come in bigger packs to me. I just think that having these tiny little items that usually don't even look that detailed for like how small they are aren't great. And then I also said kits that focus on different styles, aesthetics, and new decor. Because yes, a pack should bring something new to the game, in my personal opinion. Which rooms or categories would you be most interested in? They only allowed me to choose 3, which was homophobic, honestly. I chose baby and infant rooms just because I feel like we don't have enough. And I also chose kids and teen rooms. These two, in my opinion, should have maybe been like smushed together. I know we just had that nursery kit, which was a collaboration with Sixim. I have just always said that I would love to see more theming when it comes to like younger Sims spaces. I really, really enjoy having a theme space. Again, I love being able to show their personality off, their interest in their actual like place where they reside. And I don't feel like you can currently do that an awful lot in the game. Or if you can, a lot of it is tied to base game, and then we haven't really had a lot of theming since then. And it just feels tired by this point. And then I also went for studies and hobby spaces. Is it because I am just a hobby whore? Yes. I still want so many more hobbies within the game. I'm still holding out hope that one day we'll just get like an expansion pack dedicated towards hobbies and having interests and like magazines and talents and not being talented at something so it can restrict the amount that your skill can actually go up by. I just want to see more realism when it comes to that in The Sims 4, and obviously this was my chance to say that. I don't really care for studies. I feel like there's an awful lot that we already have for studies. I think if I hadn't have gone for those, I really wanted to choose architecture and build focus, new windows, doors, trims, etc. I feel like we've not really had a lot of those kits. Obviously, the Moroccan themed one was one of the like biggest build and buy mode ones that we kind of had. We also had the greenhouse one, which wasn't quite as good in my opinion. You also had the castle one. I think if I hadn't have chosen studies and hobby spaces specifically for hobbies, I would have gone architecture and build focus. Kind of regretting not doing that, to be honest. Also, interesting to me that they didn't put kitchens. They were like, we did country kitchen, and then cottage living came out, and also it wasn't even as good as cool kitchen stuff. I don't know. Builders, how are you currently feeling in The Sims 4? I feel like I don't stay super connected with the building community just because it's not really my thing. So I would love to hear those of you who build, like what you actually think is missing in the game right now. I honestly might make a video like reacting to builders like once or feedback, because that definitely feels like a part that I'm disconnected from in the community, and I don't like feeling disconnected. For future Create a Sim kits, hello, yes, it is I, the person who actually cares about Create a Sim kits. I feel like sometimes I am the only one. Focus on one item or category. This was even more homophobic because they only allow me to select 2, which was so rude of them. If I could pick like a bunch from here, I would say hats. I wouldn't say jewelry as a full thing. Obviously, I would always love more piercings. I also really want mix and match piercings. I want to be able to put one piercing on one ear and then change the piercing on the other ear and choose from another set. I'm so annoyed that that isn't a thing. I chose makeup and other accessories because I think when it comes to makeup specifically, it's still atrocious within the game. We need makeup that looks better on all skin tones. I feel like they need to take into consideration obviously the new skin tones that they added, and they haven't really focused on that all that much. Obviously the opacity slider can help with that, but we just still need more and better makeup. Might be an unpopular opinion. I feel like people don't care about other accessories as much as I personally do. I kind of love throwing on as many as I can in accessories. Like I have like a load of like netted kind of tops that go under things like undershirts. I obviously always joke about the fact that I would love a socks kit, which sounds ridiculous. Like me sitting here being like, I would pay £5 to have more socks within my game, but at this point, I genuinely think I would. We don't even have like a mid-rise sock, which I just think is disgusting. Also, hairstyles. Hey, if they want to start bringing out hairstyle kits, they might do it now that they've started collaborating with custom content creators, but we shall see. Clothing, obviously, we already have a bunch of. If I could choose another one, I probably would have gone with tattoos and also glasses, because I think glasses are severely lacking as a glasses wearer. Shoes, I definitely think they're getting better at when it comes to bigger packs. You know what? I'm happy. We've got a lot of loafers recently. And then they actually started this like ranking system. It did have a disclaimer that like the Sims team isn't claiming that we're working on any of these. Like we cannot promise that any of these are going to come in the future, but we want to kind of get an idea of like how people feel about them. So for each set of 3, select which theme is your best and which is the worst. Convert any living space into a whimsical wonderland that's perfect for hosting unforgettable slumber parties. Now, I actually said that this was the best. However, this was weird because I feel like we have each of these already within the game. I kind of just said that because of the pillow forts. We got slumber parties actually brought into the game in Growing Together, and I do think it would be quite cute to actually feel as if you were hosting one and you kind of did have different things to do at slumber parties, even if you couldn't build the fort yourself, which you probably couldn't. It would just be like a reskin of like a child's tent, but obviously with like blankets and stuff. That is still cute to me. That is still realistic. They could sit in there with like a bowl of popcorn. They could watch a film if you have movie hangout stuff. They could tell stories in there. They could play in there. Maybe they could add in some board games that your Sims could actually like sit on the floor and play. Maybe a little like spin the bottle set. This could definitely have some new activities potentially at Sims team. I just want to throw it out there. Please add more gameplay to kits. If you're not going to do gameplay kits, add it to the build and buy mode ones. Tea time, host a delightful get together with an elegant tea set and snack tray. Gather around a beautifully adorned table with whimsical decor. Let your Sims sip and savor in style. Obviously, we do have usable tea sets now since we got My Wedding Stories. This just feels like it would be a redesign of the asset that we did get in My Wedding Stories. This would have been so much better to me if this was like a kids' tea time set. Teddies gathered around you. I'm fairly sure that was a thing that we could do in The Sims 3. They completely missed the mark on this because it just feels like a redo of what we already have. And then garden tool clutter, bring lived-in charm to your Sims garden. Outdoor clutter and decor like planters, mulch bags, essential gardening tools. Isn't that just what we got in the greenhouse one? That barely sounds any different. Prehistoric paradise with dinosaur-themed furniture, wallpapers, decor. Spark creativity with an fecking other activity table. Why are they so dead set on only giving us activity tables? Give them a little fossil hunting set. Let them chip away at a piece of clay and find like mini fossils that they can then display. Author's Haven, perfect for Sims who love to read, write, and dream. Literary Haven embraces the dark academia to create a scholarly space, dedicating to writing your next bestseller. I personally said that was the worst. We already had Book Nook, and then I feel like we've had a little bit of dark academia recently, especially in like Crystal Creations. And I know I want to give the disclaimer, not everyone owns every pack. I feel like I get that comment all the time when I say stuff like this was included in this pack or this was in this pack. I don't feel like it's unique for a kit whatsoever. Sunrooms and porches. Redefine your Sims living spaces with enchanting sunroom and screen porch items. Embrace the blend of indoor-outdoor living with craftsman porch swing doors, screen windows, French door accents. Imagine if they gave us like a swinging seat as well, like a swinging bench. That would be so cute. I said this was actually the best because whilst we do have screen doors in the greenhouse kit, that is the only one that we have screen doors in. That's the only way currently you can kind of create those like screened porches. And I think that's actually an interesting kit idea. I think that's something that hasn't been done. Don't get me wrong, I've been like, kids' bedrooms theming, but I didn't put that as best because I don't think it's the best. We do have dinosaurs in base game. They're atrocious. I want better like dinosaur theming, like I want a bunch of other theming. I just didn't think that that was like the most important theming because we do already have it, if badly, in base game. Serene Home Spa, art of bathing surrounded by soothing aromatherapy candles and mood lighting, enhance the experience with stylish new bathroom fixtures. Boho Surfer Bungalow, epic parties with a tiki bar. Now, don't get me wrong, a tiki bar was only part of, I think it was like the deluxe edition of the Sims 4 base game. We already have so many different fire pits. We already have so many different barbecues. So I was just like, that just doesn't add anything to me. If you have island living, you can kind of already get like a surfer shack. So that was the worst for me. And then obviously some rooms and porches still held the lead. I didn't hate the idea of bathroom retreat, but I feel as if it would just affect like the Sims moodlets, and that's not interesting to me. Tea time, bathroom, boho. I actually went bathroom as the best out of these, just because again, I feel like at least it's potentially adding something new with like the aromatherapy candles. Like we don't really have candles that affect moodlets right now, even though I don't find it the most interesting gameplay. I was like, okay, out of all of these, that's like really the only one that we don't have. So I'll say it's the best here. Then we got introduced to Luxury Yurt. Outdoor adventures can now be an exclusive glamping experience. Use new windows and doors to build a luxury yurt complete with off-the-grid living essentials that redefine the art of outdoor leisure. Now, off-the-grid, don't get me wrong, strikes fear into my heart as a simmer. I feel like we've had off-the-grid over like 6 different packs in this day and age. And I'm just like, okay, you know what? It's enough. It's enough off the grid. I care about the environment. I'm sorry, do I care about the environment that much? No, I do in real life. Not so much in my Sims, you know? But I do like it for challenges such as like rags to riches. And again, this is something we don't have. We don't have anything that allows us to feel like our Sims are going glamping, you know? That's introducing like new build features. That is opening up a lot of like different storytelling elements. That's what I want to see from kids. A very small niche that maybe not a lot of players might be interested in, but that brings something new to the players who are interested in it. And then I rated Kids Backyard Haven as my worst. Ultimate Kids Paradise, complete with a basketball court, swing set. Unleash your adventurous spirit with monkey bars and bikes. We have all of those objects. Giving us reskins of those objects doesn't make them more fun. I would kind of love having a little bit of variety on a basketball court, but like how much can you really do with like a basketball net? Like you could maybe have one on wheels, but why not give us a climbing frame? Why not give us something different? I know they're probably not going to give us brand new animations in a kit, but my God, I wish they did. This is just frustrating at this point. Then we had Luxury Pillow Fort Slumber Party, Author's Haven. Again, I put Author's Haven as the worst, and I put Luxury as the best. Finally, we got introduced to Manicured Garden. Elevate your Sims outdoor experience with stunning topiaries. I always say that word wrong. I say it like potpourri. And lush flower beds create structured spaces with fences, trellises, and picnic tables. This kit turns any backyard into a manicured oasis. Now, I chose this honestly for like the trellises and different fences as well. I feel like fences are severely lacking in the game, and honestly, this kind of sounds quite nice. Like the lush flower beds, I think this is something that hasn't been focused on pretty much since the Sims 4 base game, or like romantic garden stuff. And whilst it's not the most intriguing to me, I'm like, I imagine people could get on board with that because it's something that hasn't been explored to like its fullest potential. And weirdly, on the last one, which I didn't see each theme more than once because this was the first time I'm fairly sure I was introduced to Wonderland as a themed kid's bedroom. Transform your child's room into a magical escape inspired by Alice in Wonderland. Encourage imaginative play with themed toys, whimsical decor including chess table, canopy bed, dollhouse, and more. Again, I was like, oh, not another dollhouse, not another one. So I actually plopped that as worse. I think I was feeling a little bit perturbed by the fact that they didn't put a tea party in this one and they had given us a new tea party kit. And I was like, mate, just smush those together, I beg. Also, I do still like the idea of manicure gardens. And this is funny because I was so like, I want themed kids' bedrooms. And then I feel like I ranked actually the 2 themed bedrooms ideas kind of low. I kind of wish I had maybe put manicure garden worst tier over kids' bedroom, but can't go back in time, can't change it now, and sunrooms was still my number 1. Finally, not gonna spend too long on this one. If you were to recommend a real life brand that you'd like to see in build and buy mode, Anthropology. I am not an Anthropology girly. You think I can afford Anthropology? Don't make me laugh. However, I went on a couple of like different like homewares. I think because I'm in the UK, obviously our homeware is like different to the US, but I just think Anthropology had some like cool stuff that I would like to see actually within the game. I know a lot of people would probably say, why didn't you say IKEA? I feel like we have a lot of IKEA stuff within the game. Hello, we have a Calyx shelf. What more do you want? Also, I think IKEA is a little bit basic. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I love you. Actually, this daybed would be really fucking cute in the game. I just don't think we're missing items that feel like they're from IKEA in The Sims 4 personally. This one was just a random one that I plucked. I would love to hear your lot's opinions on this, especially those of you who spend predominantly like a lot of your time within build and buy mode. What brands would you actually like care to see maybe a collaboration between, or just like items inspired by? And I said Lucy and Yak for the Creator Sim because I predominantly wear Lucy and Yak, and I would be gagged if they added like so many pattern trousers into the game. Actually, you're welcome, Lucy and Yak, for the free promo. Not spawn. I actually pay Lucy and Yak. They have never paid me. I'll leave the link down below. I don't know if it's still open, but if you want to have your say, you can maybe try to have your say. I would love anyway to hear your thoughts on this. Like, even if this isn't open, spill all of your thoughts in the comments down below. I always want to try and make videos about surveys because I don't only want my opinions to be heard, I also want your opinions to be seen and heard. We do have a new Sims 4 event happening today. I think it's coming out today. I honestly expected it to start at like 10 a.m. Shocked and appalled that it didn't, but I imagine it's either out by the time that this video goes live or it's soon to be out. It's a wintertime one. Jasmine Holiday looks like she could be returning, so I will obviously have a video up about that tomorrow. Sorry that I was so delayed on this one, not gonna lie, I kind of forgot that I took the survey and then I was like, oh wait, I needed to do a video on that. And I've been so focused on like life and death and my Sims, so sorry this one was late, but I appreciate you all so much, especially if you do leave your thoughts down below. I know that takes time, I know that takes energy, and I appreciate you very much, and I will speak to you all in my next one. Bye now.